Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and welcome back to another episode of Deck Showcase. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, Deck Showcase is a weekly series where I will introduce one of my favorite decks in Total War Elysium. And last week was our first ever episode where we featured Dongzhuo. And this week, I have a brand new deck for y'all, and the deck is the budget Blitzkrieg deck featuring Cao Cao as the commanding general. Now, while last week's deck was great, it did feature quite an expensive deck with many legendary and epic cards. So for many of you who are first learning about Elysium or just joining the closed beta, you might want something a bit easier to acquire and easier to play. So for this week, I'm showcasing what's a budget deck. And if we take a quick look at the deck itself over here, we can see that the deck features only common and rare cards. There are no epic cards and there are no legendary card. And to make this even simpler, this deck is an early aggression deck. That's why it's nicknamed the Blitzkrieg or Lightning War in German. And in this deck, you will only have cheap, low supply cards, and the goal is to overwhelm your opponent within the first 3 daybreak. Now, you might think this is a rather singular focused deck, but in reality, this is actually a highly flexible deck that's very hard to deal with in the current meta. And for many of the new players to the game, this is a great deck to not only get a couple wins, finish some missions, and acquire some of the currency to be able to purchase new cards, but it will also be a great deck for you to learn some of the game mechanic in terms of switching lanes, because that's one of Cao Cao's big features. And this deck also features things like fast, short-ranged, herald abilities, as well as camouflage, direct damage, and shattered, and stun. So pretty much all sorts of game mechanic is included in this one deck, making it also a very good learner's deck for you to learn about the game, as well as a mission deck, because in this game there are daily missions for you to complete. Sometimes it might be play 6 stun cards. Well, you can do that with this deck. Sometimes it's play 6 movement cards. You can do that with this deck. 6 camouflage cards. 6 fast cards. This deck is very flexible for you to not only pick up some easy wins, but also to finish those missions with just this one deck. And it's a very cheap deck, as we said. It's only made up of common and rare cards. So, before we jump into the actual showcase itself, what we're going to do a bit differently than last episode is that this deck is quite straightforward. So instead of showing you guys little details about the deck, we're just going to play a few games. And in those games, I'll talk about what you have to watch out for, what you should pick up as your first daybreak cards, what you should pick up for your second daybreak cards, how to deal with different situations. So let's just learn by playing. But before we do that, we do have to introduce our general. This deck is featuring Cao Cao as the commanding general, and Cao Cao is a very flexible general in the game and very beginner friendly. So Cao Cao is a 1 attack, 25 health general, and he has a special ability where if you have any ally that have moved forward in terms of switching lanes this turn, then you will heal 1 health. So it's not 1 health per ally. It's if you have someone this turn, at least 1, move forward in this turn, you will heal 1 at end of the turn. So this is pretty nice because healing is really a premium for a lot of generals. And since you're running this fast aggro deck, being able to use your generals in the beginning to tank and also keeping him alive with a steady stream of healing is going to be very crucial for you to build that small advantage that you need for the finisher at the end. And his special card is called Manipulate. It costs 4 supplies. This was recently nerfed. It used to cost 3, and obviously that would have made the deck a lot better. But 4, it's still manageable. It is a very strong card, and it's a very flexible card, and that's the reason why Cao Cao decks are all so powerful, and there's so many ways to build him, because when your ability is to draw a card, any deck would work for you. And that's exactly what Manipulate does. It allows you to draw a single card. Now, while this is very pricey for 4 supplies, the supplies can be reduced anytime you target anything with one of your played card. So that includes things like direct damage, debuffs, buffs on ally and enemies, or herald ability of certain cards when you enter the field. So it's very easy to reduce this card down to 2 costs or even 0 costs if you play 4 such cards. So it's a very flexible thing you can have in your deck to draw a bit extra cards, and since everything's so low cost in our deck, in the late game, once our supply goes up, every turn we can essentially draw 2 cards and play both of them for a tempo advantage in the mid game. So because of this design, it's very rare that we will run out of steam in our early aggro deck, which is very common for a lot of other aggro decks in the game and in a lot of different games. So I hope you guys will enjoy the showcase, and let's kick things off right now. Alrighty guys, so in our first game, we're playing against a Lagatha deck commanded by Sector Dub. And Lagatha is famous for being an early aggression deck. So for us to run into a competing early aggression deck, it should be a pretty fun showcase. Now there is something to note here, that Lagatha does have the Warmonger card. And for this deck here, this is the usual day 1 setup I like to run. So pretty much all your low cost units plus Demoralise to help you out in case there's a strong enemy target, and always take Messenger. There's just a lot of value behind being able to draw an extra card from your reserve, so I always tend to draw a Messenger in every single Daybreak. That's it. The thing that I would like to change about this deck right now that I'm considering is adding a Cow Trap for strong cavalry situations like Lagatha. So it's going to be pretty straightforward against a deck that's early aggression as well. You want to play out your strong units as early as possible. Slinger is very useful for being fast and short ranged, so you want to save this in your hand for a surprise attack, because they will never be able to calculate damage that's from your hand. Let's see what they do. She has the empty supply cache for going second, so she does have some flexibilities in what she can play on turn 1. That's the supply cache, so she's going to play something that costs 2. Okay, not too scared. And a peasant that costs 0, no big deal. So obviously the strength of Irish Cairn is being able to build up its attack. So the first attack is quite simple. So all we're going to do is take 2 damage here. He becomes stronger. We can always sacrifice our leader's health, but we don't have to do it here. The whole idea of Cao Cao is being able to heal when you are moving units up. So from the back line to the front, anytime you move a unit, and in this case our Siberian Nomads are a unit that we want to move quite often. So every time we move a unit forward, Cao Cao can heal by 1 on that turn. If you move 3 units forward, you still only heal 1 on that turn. So our trade obviously left our short sword exposed to getting traded away, but we still got tons of value for a 1 cost card. We're essentially trading away 2 cards, a total of 2 cost, and also a supply catch. So it's actually trading away 3 cards for 1. And now that I know she doesn't have a supply cache, I know she can only play things that cost 2 or potentially 4 with the raid. But raid got nerfed a lot quite recently, so I actually don't think Lagatha is a good early aggression deck, which is why I made this Cao Cao deck in the first place. Okay, Thrall. She should have moved her general up. I don't know why for an aggressive deck you would keep your general in the back. That actually defeats the purpose. So Thrall likes to buff other units when you move it. So the whole idea here is we're not going to let them have anything to buff when they move it up. We're going to buff our unit with herald abilities like this. And targeting any card, any single card, whenever you target, you get the bonus of reducing your signature card by 1 cost. This used to be 3 cost. They nerfed it. But now that we have a short range 2 damage unit, we can control the front line much easier. And we're going to take every opportunity to bash the general in the face, because that's the purpose of our deck. And this is not threatening. This can do nothing to us. If it moves up, we snipe it. We deal 3 damage to this front line. Now obviously, if she has Warmonger here, which is a cavalry card, our range units will become useless, so getting impatient here. You see how we healed by 1? This way it gives us quite a bit of sustain power that most early aggression deck do not have. And by having this sustain power, we can sometime wait out and get the cards that we need to burst down the enemy general's health while keeping our health pretty healthy. What would she have? That's 3 costs, that's hard to play. Alright, this is a waste. We have full board control with these 2 units. This card has a Daybreak effect where it goes back to your hand at the end of the Daybreak. Since we're approaching Daybreak, this card is actually going to do nothing except for block for 1 turn, which is totally fine. She's debating whether to send the Thrall to its death or not. Should have moved your general up. Okay, see how it buffs units around it when it moves? But since it's end of turn and this was just summoned, it would do nothing. So here we're just looking to buff some more of our units. Thinking about Lagatha deck, they probably have a card called Stray Arrow that does 2 damage. So I would really want to keep my Slinger alive, and I would not even want to consider using this card for attack. But first, let's draw cards. You see how it went down again because we targeted? So we're going to keep Demoralise, it's going to be quite useful. We are not going to actually trade with our Siberian Nomad. We want this to be buffed as much as possible, unless the trade is essential. Like if you're getting dominated, you need board control, then definitely trade for damage. If not, then just keep him healthy. And against a Lagatha deck that features a lot of raid, you don't want injured units on the board. So try not to trade with your units. In this case, we can easily just do this. And this did do the job in terms of blocking for her. I can't actually deal damage to her. I'm going to let this bounce back into her hand. And we're going to end turn right here. We could potentially move the Crossbowman up. That is something I'm debating, because that way we add an extra damage dealer in case they play Warmonger here. Because range units can shoot cavalry on the front line, and also moving up heals us up to 25. And we're at our first Daybreak. So the Daybreak card grab from reserve is quite simple for this deck. As I mentioned, you always want a messenger for value, and then you just want your bottom cards. And then the last one you can kind of consider, but usually I just take Well Drilled. It's a very flexible card. The situation here, why you want to take these cards is this is your mid/late game cards. The highest cost we have is 4. So we want these cards as much as possible, or else we're going to fall behind. So that's pretty much the reason here. And she is taking her sweet time. I mean, this is a very optimal situation for us to have full board control this early. The best card that could happen for her is probably Lay Down Arms, which is 4 cost, reduce everything by 2. But somehow I don't think they drew that, because they probably didn't grab it in the first Daybreak, so they're 1 out of 12 chance of drawing that. Trying to gain control of the board back, that's not going to happen. So we're just going to snipe this without trading damage, and since this is a range unit, it doesn't retaliate when it gets attacked. We're not going to go injure any of our units. It will limit what cards a raid deck can play, and we'll move him right back up, and you can see how we are healing every time. That move up will heal us back to 25. We'll just use it to draw another card. This is another reason why it's also super flexible, because when your signature card is to draw a card, that allows you to do whatever you want to do. So we got Trample, very useful. But I think the biggest mistake like this player made is keeping the general in the back line. You can't be afraid to trade your general's health to develop your board. If you keep something as strong as the general in the back line, you can't protect your back line. So you can't keep your archers safe. If she had moved up her general to here and they got Lay Down Arms, so that kind of hurt us. But then the archer would have stayed alive and be able to help clean up this board. But right now, still keeping in the back line. Okay, so it doesn't matter we get a decrease to our attack, we can always build up. And I'm going to draw a card. We're just going for value at this point since we're so ahead. We can draw another one from our reserve. Alright, we're gonna keep these guys on the front, I guess. I guess we could do this, since there's no threat. And we'll move some of these guys back, because they're going to be useless for now. Maybe they can be a good defensive unit to throw away later, but right now I'm going to keep them on the back. So this is why I kept Sabre Infantry. This is a card that you might have noticed I'm never taking, because during both daybreaks, I always take a messenger. Thus, there's one card that's left out, because I would take like the first 9, but I'll take the first 8, and then messenger, and I'll take the last 9 every time during daybreaks. Oh, they surrendered. Okay, that went very, very well. Let's queue up for another game. And we found ourselves another opponent. So yeah, as I was saying about the Sabre Infantry, it's a card I would never take, so I could technically remove it from our deck to put a tech card in there that can be situational. But it's a nice card to grab from using a messenger from your reserve. So we're playing as Agamemnon. So Agamemnon can have 2 versions. One is a very defensive structure deck. The other one's a hyper aggressive heroic deck that's actually really strong to beat. So we might run into a bit of issue here. And given that we are a budget deck, and you see how we usually take the first 8 plus this card, we're not taking Sabre Infantry, and then on the second daybreak and every daybreak after, we take the 9 cards at the end. Yeah, this might be a heated match. Agamemnon's quite strong right now, especially if he gets a good start with Campfire. Then there's a lot of sustain, because you might notice I run a lot of decks that use healing. So it's also heal here. We got hit by damage, but if we move up, we can heal that back. We can just mirror that. See if he wants to have the trade. And Agamemnon is very strong. Every time you play something in an empty line, he gains range. So he can actually snipe backlines over your general. So your general can't keep things safe. But it's also very hard to play, because you have to be very careful with how you play lines. So you see how it has range now? Oh, that's a mistake. Why is he trading into my general? I mean, I understand he's playing an aggro deck, but that's a very bad trade for him. Alright, so we got one of our value cards. This is the Armed Recruiter. So every turn, based on its current attack, it will spawn that many recruits at the end of your turn. Recruits are 0 cost 1/1 tokens, and we're going to utilize that. So we will just trade our general health. I'm never afraid to trade the general health. It's the thing you want to do. And we are going to smash him, because even if we smash this, he can kill us. And I don't want his lanes to be empty. I want him to have trouble with emptying out lanes. Right, so this card is very synergized, synergized so well with Cao. In case you're wondering, you put this on your back line, recruits come out, next turn you move them up, and that's a heal every single turn. So here we get a token because we have 1 attack, and we can buff it. Then we get 2 tokens every turn. Ooh, that's a strong card. That's why we keep Demoralise in this deck. It's a 4/2 shielded unit, so usual damage card can't kill it, but shield cards are very strong against damage. But this reduces their health and attack by 2, so this will actually kill it. That's the only advantage of Demoralise. Aside from that, it's actually a very bad card because it's not a direct damage card. You can only target units with them. So here, we'll heal 1 and we'll lose 1 health. I'll play the Slinger just to get board control. I'm not in a rush to buff this card because getting an extra token isn't that important. Maybe I want to buff the range unit for board control. But right now, keep it in your back. Try to keep it safe. Use your general to protect cards. The annoying thing is, he can just play something and then voyage over, use range, and snipe this card. Which I think he will. Oh, ooh, fancy. So he will actually kill my Armed Recruiter and then also move up with voyage and then kill my Slinger. So the Agamemnon hero ability is just very strong. Alright, we're into phase 2. The board is obviously not as much in favor as it was before, but this is probably good. We don't want to showcase smooth sailing. And this deck is not one of those, you know, you'll win 90% chance. I would say this deck is probably 75-ish if you're good. It also depends on how strong your opponents are. Most early aggression deck basically need the opponent to be unprepared for it, because you're trying to kill them within the first, you know, 2.5 daybreaks. You don't want to give them the chance to develop. So we can freely use our token and our general health to trade. This will heal us up. I would love to get another card for value. Okay, so I might use this because I feel like I'm kind of wasting supplies here. But I'm not sure if I actually want to, because I got another one, which is interesting. I kind of want board control. This guy's a bit too weak. So in case he plays something on the board, he's likely to voyage first and then play something on the front, and then that way he gets range afterward and shoot us. And then if we lose this, we lose board control because this is not ranged. So I'm trying to buff up our front line a bit. Let's see what he does. My guess is voyage into like Greek militia. Yep, into Greek militia. And then probably some other card that can buff. Maybe a high bridge if he has one. That would be really strong. That'd be something that would make things difficult for us. But this way he can't snipe any of our guys. Okay, so he's also running a Demoralise. We're both ancient generals. So at least we have something on the board. Ooh, we got ourselves our War Dog. We can't use this yet because he's hiding in the back. We're definitely going to move this up. And we're definitely trading away one of these. I'm going to draw a card, but I might get more value if I just buff our cavalry, which is quite useful because the range can't hit our cavalry. Draw a card, also reduce our cost. Ooh, okay, so we did get Pearl Dragon. We're going to waste 2 supplies, which I hate to do. But we basically need a buff card, which we just used. Pearl Dragons are amazing. So these guys, whenever you use a mandate action, which means... Mandate means you target it with a card. Right, so if we target it with this ability, if we target it with a buff card, then all of a sudden all our other units will gain an extra action. It means we can attack twice. And that's how we finish people off by surprise. It's all about unpredictable damage, like fast damage, stuns, spell damage, or event card damage, and stuns. The number of stuns is to prevent the general from being able to escape into the backline. Interesting. Okay. That's also quite strong of a card. He's running Shield Woman. When this moves up, it will gain shield as well as stun, which is a bit annoying, but it's manageable. I can get double action next turn with this combo. I'm gonna first clear this. We're gonna hit him. I'm gonna play this ahead of time, and I'm gonna stun him in place with a unit. Now Voyage can still save him by moving him back, but that's not what I'm worried about. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think this will work. He has very little cards, so I don't think he can surprise us. He's probably gonna Voyage him back, move her to the front, gain shield. And he has 7 supplies. I don't know what he's running in the higher tier of his deck. We haven't got to see it yet. Ah, he's just running straight up strong units. Interesting. Okay, so here's where stun comes in handy. We're gonna play all our units first. That way when we buff this card, or actually we're not even buffing it, we're just targeting it. We're moving it. You see how it already has +1 action? Means they can move twice. We can use this on it, move it to the front. And also everything else can move twice now. Except for our general. It's not a unit. For some of them it's going to be useless because you can't get through this line. Like, we're having trouble getting through it. If we hit him, then we, you know, trade away and die. I don't know what to do here. I think we definitely want to break the shield and kill it. Very hard to kill. And we need to stun the other one. So we're probably going to stun one with a spell. But we're going to first use one of our health on the general. Might as well. And then... I don't want to lose the Pearl Dragon. I think we just trade into this. Doesn't matter. We can't kill either one. I'm gonna stun one. Drop it to 1 health. Stun this one. He's gonna move himself up, play something, kill my Siberian Nomad. That's my guess. Can't believe they're just running a strong unit. Alright, same thing. Take your best 9 cards, because we're getting to the point where we have a lot of supplies. You just need to throw your best stuff out there. And we haven't showcased one of our key finishers. Our key finisher is actually Headhunter, which we featured in our Don't Draw deck. It's a very reliable source of damage. Voyage first, and then play something. No? No creatures? Or no units? Well, that's a mistake. He could have killed this. He's played... Oh, wow. So he could have played this. He could have played Voyage, move him up, play the Headhunter in the back, and then he gains range and he snipes this unit. Okay, we're gonna draw a card first. We also got our Headhunter. Ooh, double attack. Okay. We can't buff this guy. We can, but I don't want to. He's gonna die. I don't need him anymore. He can attack twice. He's gonna trade into this guy. And of course, we trade our leader all the time. Not a big deal. Once we move up, he'll heal to 10. Then she can't knock us down to last gasp, which is 6. And that's going to be crucial. Well, actually, they can, because he's going to snipe me. Oh, I can't do anything about that. We definitely move him up. We also want to play one of these. I wonder what he's going to do here. Maybe play in the back. I want to keep this safe. But our whole idea is this does its guaranteed, like, total damage. Right now it's 3. When it dies, it will deal that damage directly to the general. So if we double it, that's like a guaranteed 6 damage. I think he's probably just going to focus down my general. Oh no? Gonna take his time. Voyage him up, hit me. Oh, he's running so many big creatures. Oh, he didn't break me. He's very scared of moving his general up. I am shocked, to be honest. Okay, I mean, I can break myself by killing that, but I don't think I'll do that. I'll make him break me. There's a small problem here. Well, we're definitely moving her up. Give another unit over. I'm gonna double the attack now. That's 6 damage to him for sure, no matter how he deals with it. Draw a card. Nice. Another 3 damage on him. And that's it. We're still gonna get our last gasp popped because he's gonna suicide. I guess he doesn't have to. He can smash this if he wants to. Oh wow, he's really gonna do that. That's a mistake. He's once again not using his general. If he traded this into our Headhunter and moved the general up and used the range to kill it, okay, sure. Some splash damage, he still pops us, but He's not using his general at all. Alright. The bad news is we lost our last gasp, which is huge in this game. The good news is we have some really good cards here. We're going to have to move his general up. I'm going to have to stun it. I don't know if I'll survive this turn, but this is the closest I can do. He has splash damage here, which is a big issue. I think I need to kill it right now, even though this is our... So technically this is our killing damage, but I can't afford to risk it. He can clear my front line, which I can't let him do. So we're going to have to play this, and then play this. He can still do 3 damage to me by suiciding this. But that's about it, depending on what he has. If he has a trample, then I'm dead, right? Suicide this, I'm at... Actually, no. I'll heal 1, because I moved up. So he would need 4 damage from his hand, which I don't think he has. Let's find out. Doesn't mean we'll win, because we don't have any direct damage left in our hand. We gotta draw something. But there's a chance of winning. Oh, he has another one of these. Oh, then we're done. That board clears. Yep. Alrighty. It was close. Running a 7-7, it's really strong against my deck because I don't have any direct board clears or single target clears, and I have to trade. Alright, let's try another one. Alrighty. So we got another aggressive Lagatha deck, or assume it's aggressive Lagatha deck. Good way to close things out. We haven't had a very intense battle. Agamemnon one was good, but I wouldn't really think it's intense. Let's hope this one's more aggressive than the first Lagatha we faced. They also start out with a coin. Play this, buff it. It's not really about keeping him alive, it's just about reducing the cost of drawing a card. And just to develop our board. She could have Stray Arrow and just snipe it. Definitely a possibility. If she's scared of our range development, which is really not a thing. Okay. So she might regret that, because if she had Stray Arrows, maybe the best move would have been to snipe it, because we had Comrade in arms in hand, now we have full board control. I'm not going to injure our troop into her, because raid is a thing for Viking factions, and injured units will help reduce some of their card cost. I don't want her to develop her board. Unless I have to. See, she's debating, she wants to injure our troop to be able to play cards. But this is a no-brainer. We can't let a cavalry exist when we have a decent back line. We play Armed Recruiter for value, and Short Sword for some more pressure on the front. This deck is just really fast. And that's how you win with aggressive decks. So that's why it's called Blitzkrieg. The Lightning War. This is her best card, but she's risking a lot playing it right here. She should have killed our front line. If we kill this card, she has to discard her hand. That's very punishing at this point in the game. We didn't draw what we needed, but maybe we'll get lucky here. Oh, we got lucky. Yeah, I don't want an injured unit on the field, so I'm gonna just make her discard 2 hand, so the value here is completely gone. Then we heal, we snipe her, hit her in the face. It's her signature card that's left, so signature cards do not get discarded ever, so she doesn't even get the bonus extra 1 attack when that happens. She lost the game. There's no way she'll come back, drawing 1 card at a time against us. And same thing. There's no need to think. Last 9 cards. Yeah, situations like that, if you're playing Warmonger and there's units that could potentially kill you, kill those first. Because the longer your Warmonger stays, even if she had one more turn, she could have probably emptied out her hand, and then she wouldn't have lost value. So that stray arrow into our Arms Recruiter, which seems like a great move, the Arm Recruiter wasn't actually going to hurt her. Yeah, just throw that axe, does nothing. Menace. We could combo this with Menace and draw a card. Why not? We don't have anything else to do with Menace. Alright, we got a nice stun card. Sadly, we can't knock her to 6, which would have been key. But the Menace use is important because, or else she just throw her axe out and kill our Nomad before we even develop him. Now she can choose to trade her last gasp, which I wouldn't do if I were her, but okay, she has a fast unit, so she can kill that. And run away. No. Why would you ever do that? She lost. 3 damage. 2. 1. And we killed her on turn, what is this, 11? Or actually our turn 5. That was quick. Let's do another one. Alrighty, so we got ourselves a Napoleon deck again. This could be challenging. Alrighty, so we get to go first. Let's develop our side. We will also have a range unit to scare him. Let's see if he wants to move up first. If he has Hearthstone habits. If he has supply cache into... Oh, okay. If he has supply cache into Grape Shot, then we're doomed. But he doesn't. He's also running a lot of range. Good thing we have Messenger in our hand. This is camouflage, so that's really annoying, but what we're going to do is take this out of the picture, buff him, move our general up, and I'm just going to move him up, see what he does. He can kill both of our range, keep that safe, but then we'll get to kill this next turn. He has fire, campfire, that's surprising. But right now he's full health, I don't need to kill him right away, that's not our threat. Always keep buffing, don't trade. Get our cavalry out there to counter the back line. I mean, if he was going to run a campfire, I would have put Napoleon out here earlier just to trade health. Camouflage and campfire. I'm surprised, to say the least. We have a lot of buff cards. I don't want to show my hand. I just want to give him a bunch of 2s to waste this into. We'll heal that back anyways, because we moved him. I might buff him a bit more to keep him out of Candace coordinates shot, like kill range. He has an event card that can kill calibrated coordinates that can kill 3 health. This way he's safe. I'm not going to move him back up, but then he can just focus him down. This is our precious unit right now. Oh, he has calibrated ordnance in his hand. Yeah, the playing card glowing is quite an interesting mechanic. Basically tells your opponent what you have. Unless it's conscription, but I doubt it. Most guys run calibrated ordnance, even though we just saw someone run conscription. You'll probably calibrate my cavalry to protect his backline and then trade this either into this or into my general. Both are pretty logical. I'm gonna move the general up. I don't know why he doesn't do that. Calibrate. And he gets... Oh no. Oh, he's gonna use the round shot to kill him. Then our cavalry lives. Then the purpose is served actually. He's so scared of this, he's using all 4 of his resources on something we paid 1 for. He's still going to kill the cavalry, but he trades that into it. He can't kill anything here. Okay. He dies. We trade this way, kill his range. Same effect. Doesn't change a thing. We can even do more if we want to. I don't know. He doesn't have any more. Okay, so we should be okay. I'm thinking about whether he has Sudden Barrage, whether I should play that on the front line or not. But it seems fine. And this way we get 2 attacks. Dash him into that. Do some damage to Napoleon here. Perfect. See, this is usually when, you know, early aggression decks run out of steam, and that's why we need cards like Manipulate to draw more cards. Because he could easily... he doesn't have anything easily, but he has a camouflage unit, which can kill this. And that's all he can do. Move him up. I don't understand the logic behind not moving him up. Interesting. Okay. He's gonna die anyways next turn, so we're gonna get as much value as we can out of him. Too bad we just have enough damage to take him to last gasp. Keeping your general safe doesn't actually keep them safe. It helps kill your board, and then your general is in more trouble. Now we just need to draw Trample twice. Trample plus Headhunter. That's a death right there. He needs to draw another Campfire. Why hurt yourself anymore? I don't get it. Okay, he's playing the wall defense. Doesn't do him any good. That's why we play direct damage or unavoidable damage. Why not play this first so your wall has camouflage? Oh, I mean, yeah. Why doesn't he do that? Alright, we show him what's up. 3 damage that you can't avoid. And we just punch your wall. And now we're waiting for Trample. Or maybe a Ferocious Axe to double the attack. Play. Oh, no. Oh, right. It's Daybreak, so he's going to wait for that to become planned. We want our final 9 cards. No need to change this. So Menace can pull him forward. That would speed things up. Trample would speed things up. Another Headhunter, Ferocious Axe would do it. A bunch of our cards will help. Messenger will give us another shot. Any type of boost on her. Oh, that's an interesting card. That doesn't actually help us. I don't want to move her back. Okay, camouflage units. Gonna try to damage ourselves. We could have used this on her to get her to 4, but it would put us on the back line, which I feel is less effective. Just keep trading her. The death is threatening, keeping her on the field threatening. That's what we like. Gonna target us, use the round shot to kill her, or just save the round shots. Okay. What good does keeping this cavalry alive do? Why don't just trade the cavalry and save the round shots? Now all we need is Trample. We have 2 chances to draw it and return. Yeah, he's gonna lose the cavalry anyways. Why, yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of work to do the same thing. Now we just need to pull him to the front line so we can get Menace or Trample. Oh, got double attack twice. I'm gonna keep him hidden. There's no reason we need to reveal him. I might actually move him to the back line in case he has something like Sudden Barrage, because we can always move him up with Well Drilled. We have how many cards? 13 cards. There's 2 Trample in here. There is 1 Menace at least. Maybe 2 Menace. We got the Trample. It's over. And that's our Blitzkrieg deck. Budget deck, all common and rare cards. Nothing epic, nothing legendary. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and see you guys next time. Bye!